Hi, my name is Ayan Seth, and I am an information security analyst at ISOH Data Securities Private Limited. So today, I will be sharing with you guys the Linux privilege escalation, the concepts of Linux privilege escalation. However, you already know that from my previous sessions that there are different types of Linux privilege escalations like abusing pseudo rights, SUID bits, and exploiting SUID bits. Okay, so today we will learn the environment path variables. We will learn the Linux privilege escalation by using the environment path variables and writable etc password file. That means if the etc password files can be accessed, then it can be changed. Okay, and we can leverage and we can escalate our privileges by using that particular vulnerability. Okay, so now today, okay, before solving the machines, first let's discuss some theories. Okay, so let me share my screen. Okay, as you can see, this is we the it is the Linux privilege escalation. We were discussing Linux privilege escalation, replaceable etc password file, and the path variable, environment path variable. So let's first discuss about the what are the environment path variables. So environment path variables are basically a security control where basically when you are trying to execute a particular command at that time the shell looks through the directories, okay, that are mentioned in the environment path variable. Okay, that are mentioned in the path variables. Okay, so it will go through. All the directory names will be separated with some colons, and the shell will try to go through all those directories one by one. Okay, each of this. So that is the environment path variable. So it basically enables the programs to run from any directory. Okay, you do not need to specifically mention the path. You can run any directory. You can run the program from any directory you want. Okay. Now, besides that, it ensures that you can run the commands smoothly. In both terminal and command prompt. Okay. So this is the brief introduction about what is environment path variable. Now let's come to the point that what is environment path variable vulnerability. Why this particular if these particular path variables are not set properly, then how the vulnerabilities can arise, which can ruin, which can I mean gives the opportunity to the attacker to enter into the victim's machine. Okay, so the environmental path variable vulnerability basically refers to it is basically a security risk. It refers to a security risks when the unintended when the malicious user enters, when the malicious users are able to manipulate the environment path variables. They can enter some directories or that can contain some malicious codes, okay, or malicious files. Okay, so basically attackers basically place the harmful executables before the environmental path variable. Okay, so as I already discussed that in fact the shell basically basically goes through each of the directories when it is trying to run a particular command. So if the attacker is going to mention his or her directory, okay, his or her malicious directory which contains the malicious files. So first the shell will go through all those malicious contents. Okay, after that it will go to the legitimate content. So when the shell is going through those malicious contents, at that time what will happen, the malicious codes will run, and it will give the opportunity to the attacker that to gain the privileges, to access, to elevate their privileges. Okay, to elevate their privileges, because the attacker has to do all those things after penetrating the system. They need to penetrate this system as a normal user. After that, they can do all those things. Okay, to leverage their privilege, to escalate their privileges. Okay, so this is the thing. After that comes the mitigation. What can be the possible mitigations of those environmental path variable vulnerabilities? So basically, environmental path variable vulnerabilities can be mitigated if any. If it can be limited that which users are permitted to modify or change the environmental path variables. So it is one of the best mitigation techniques. Okay. Well, after that, you need to ensure that the trusted directories can be listed inside the in a user modified path variable, right? So this is the another mitigation strategy. And the last one that I will be discussing, that if you need to you need to check repetitively to that whether the unauthorized or suspicious entries are implemented or not, are written or not. Okay, so this is the thing. And after that comes the writable etc password file vulnerability. So what is in writable etc password file? Basically, etc password file, we all know that in Linux the passwords are stored in the etc password file. Basically, it actually gets stored in the etc shadow file. However, in etc password file, if we can mention the name of the users, okay, and we can give some certain permissions to that particular user. We can mention the group id, we can mention the user id, as well as the directory of that home directory of that particular user. Along with that, with whether that user is allowed to run the bin bash shell or not. Okay, so this is the writable etc password file vulnerability. So if the configurations are not done properly, if the attacker is if a normal user without root privileges can access the etc password file, then that particular malicious user can replace it also. There will be a possibility that he or she can replace it. So if he or she is able to replace that particular etc password file, then he or she can put his or her name in that particular file, and it can help him or her to escalate their his or her privilege. Okay, so this is the possibility. This is the writable etc password file. Okay, so basically etc password files are writable by unauthorized user. Okay, so they can modify all the account details, escalate privileges, or create backdoor access. Okay, so what is the backdoor access? That means the even if the session is destroyed, when the session will be live again, if the user logs in again, at that time attacker will gain that particular access of the system. Okay, so attackers can elevate their privileges by modifying user data and adding new users. Okay, they can add the users as per their choice. We will see that in a moment when we will try to solve the lab. Okay, so let's not waste time, and let's directly jump to the lab. Okay, so let me go to my terminal. Okay, so first of all, let me clear all these things. And let me start the first machine pawn lab init. Okay, it will contain the environmental path variable vulnerability. Okay, so we will solve that first. Just wait for a moment. Let it open. Let it start. Let the machine start. Okay, then we will discover the IP address of that particular machine. Okay, so it is started now. Let me enhance the size of the text. Now we are going to discover the IP address. First, let's check our IP address. It will help us to mention the range. Okay, so we have received the IP. This one is the IP of the victim machine. That is 192.168.1.28. So we are going to do the nmap scanning. We are performing the aggressive scan here. Okay, as you can see, the scan is done. So now let's analyze the results. Okay, so as you can see, port 8 is open. That means an web application is running. Besides that, RPC bind port is open. However, it is of no use. 3306 port is open. That means MySQL. Okay, so this particular MySQL port can help us to gather some information. Okay, uh, but we need the password to log in the MySQL. So first, let's open the. I mean, let's open the. Let's type this particular IP address in our browser because our web application is running as port 8 is open. So let's try to open it. As you can see, it is showing us a web page, and inside that web page there are three options: home, I think this is it, login, and upload. However, if we want to upload something, we need to log in first, and we do not have the username and password here. So in order to, log in, we need the username and password. However, you can see there is an entry point here. As you can see, after this question mark, this is an entry point where we can mention something. We can mention some path here. Okay, if we are going to if we are trying to access the etc password file from here, can we do that? Let's check. No, nothing is displayed. Okay, so that means something is blocking. It is working, however, it is being filtered somehow. So what we will do now, we will do the directory brute forcing. Okay, we will do the directory brute forcing. So we are going to use dir for that purpose. HTTP and then 92.168.1.28, and we are going to check the web pages that have the extension of .php or .html. Okay, so it will narrow down our search. As you can see, the derp has retrieved four web pages. That is the, config.php, index.php, login.php, upload.php. So these are the web pages. So first, let's try with config.php. Okay, we do have an entry point, so we are going to place that particular, name in that particular entry point. Let's see what happens. Nothing is being displayed. If I am going to write only config, still nothing is displayed. So as we can see, nothing is being displayed, right? That means something is blocking, something is filtering the results. So what can be done in this case? In this case, we can use a base64 encoding method. Okay, so you need to search it like this: lfi. There is a website called Hacktricks. It will contain various payloads for the file inclusion or path reversal. Okay. So as we tried to do the path reversal at that time when we were trying to access the etc password file, now what we are going to do, we are going to find out the bypass of these things, why it is being filtered out. Okay, so we need the PHP base 64 encode to, yes, this one. Okay, so we need it. Okay, we need to filter this particular thing. We need to bypass this thing. Okay, so that is why we are going to use this particular line. Okay, so it will show us the data in the encoded format. Okay, in the base 64 encoded format, we need to decode it. So resource, and then we are going to use here config. Let's just type the config here. As you can see, it is showing us the data in the encoded format, so we are going to copy this particular, I mean encoded format data, encoded data, and let's decode it in the decoder of burp suite. So we are going to decode is as base 64, and as you can see, it contains the server name, username, password, and the name of the database. So that means these passwords, we can guess that these username and password can be the possible use credentials for logging into the MySQL, right? So what we are going to do, we are going to now we will try to log in into MySQL. Okay, so let's type the command MySQL h u flag for h for the host. That means we need to provide the IP address, and then u is for the username. Okay, and after that for password it's p. So it is the password prompt has come and we need to enter the password. So what is our password? We are going to just copy it from here and we will paste it over here. Where is terminal? Yeah, it's here. Okay, as you can see, we are logged into the MySQL. Now, what we are going to do, we are going to type a command that show databases. Basically, it is a query. So databases. So as you can see, we do have two databases. One is the information schema, and another is the users. So we are going to use the users. We are going to use this database by typing this command. Okay, so as you can see, the result is database changed. Now we are going to see the tables inside this database. So we are going to type this command show tables. So as you can see, there is a table called users. So what we are going to do, we are going to fetch everything from that users table. That is why we are using the wildcard, right? So let's start from users. And you can see that we have received username and passwords. However, you can see that these passwords are B64 encoded. So what we are going to do, we are going to decode all those things. Either we can use burpsuit, or either we or what we can use crackstation.net to decode all those passwords. So something is something problematic is happening. However, don't worry. Let's decode it from the verb suit. Okay, let's decode it from the verb suit. Mhm. We need to copy that password first. Sorry. Okay, so the password for Kent is this one. Okay, so let's also decode the passwords of other two other users. I mean, for the users, Mike and Kane. Let's decode the passwords for Mike and Kane also. Okay, so this is the password for Mike. And okay. So now what we are going to do, we are going to, try all those credentials. However, we will start it from the bottom. So first I'm going to use this one. Okay, first I'm going to use this password. And this password belongs to Ken, I think. Yes, this password belongs to Ken. So now what we are going to do, we are going to try, we will log in. We need to remove this particular line and we will just write login here. Okay, so username Ken and then password. Let's try to log in. As you can see, we are logged in. Now you can see that it is a place where we can upload some file. So our motive is to upload a malicious file, a reverse shell, so that we can gain the access from the victim, right? So it is our motive. So now what we are going to do, we are going to locate. Let's open a new tab. We enhance those sites. Okay, PHP reverse. Okay, it is not showing us any kind of results. So what we are going to do, we are going to find the location by ourselves. Okay, so let's enter here. I think it is inside this load and cd php. Okay, so this is our whole location. Okay, just let's. What we can do now, we can copy it. Yes, in this particular location. Okay, so now what we're going to do, we are going to, redirect to our, we are going to enter in our home directory. So lsl. Okay, so as you can see, the file is here. So what we're going to do, we're going to modify this file. We need to change the IP address, right? We need to change the IP address. So what was our IP address? Our IP address was, okay, let's check it again. It's 1.9, right? Okay, so now Let's modify this IP address. Okay, I am not going to modify the port number. Let's keep it as it is. Okay, let's save it and exit from here. And now let's try to upload it. First, we need to start the listener at port 8888 and let's browse the location and let's upload the file. As you can see, not allowed extension, please upload images only. So we can assume that the images can be, I mean, we need to, upload the images. So if you do not know the extension, so what we can do in this particular case? So at that particular case, what we can do, we can use this particular line again. Let's see the data inside it. Okay, now let's copy it and paste it over here. So let's check the code. Okay, let's check the source code. As you can see, whitelist has been implemented. Only JPG, JPEG, GIF, and PNG formats are allowed. Right. So what we are going to do, we are going to upload. We will make this file with a. We will change the extension of that file to the JPG format, right? To JPG. So what we are going to do, we are going to move that particular file. Okay, so now we will try to upload it. Okay, so we need to remove it. Okay, it is saying error 002. So it is a problem. So what we are going to do in this particular scenario, we need to edit the JPG file also. We are going to add GIF 98 in order to make it a GIF file. It will look like a GIF file. Okay. The extension is .jpg. However, it will behave like a zip file. Okay. Now we will try to upload it. Yes, it is uploaded perfectly. And I think we have also fetched the request. Let's check it in the HTTP history. Too many requests are there. I think this one. Let's send it to repeater. Okay, as you can see, it is uploaded. Okay, it is uploaded perfectly. Let's check the no, not this one. I think this one. Yes, this one. Okay, so let's send it to repeater. Okay, let's this is it. This is the content of the file. Okay, now we need to find a way to run this particular file. Okay, to run this particular file. So if I'm going to remove this particular page, if I'm going to remove this particular entry point, so what should I get? Okay, as you can see, we are getting the, I mean, index of, we are getting the files that we just uploaded, right? So we need to copy this particular name. It will be required later. I'm going to copy it and let's create. Okay, so this is the name of the file. So let's keep it here. Now, what we are going to do, now we have uploaded it. However, if we click on this particular file, it will not run. So one thing we can do, let's keep the entry point again. And let's use the line again. Here, let's check the index.php. As you can see, another encoded data is present. So we are going to copy it and decode it again. Okay, so let's copy it and let's paste it over here. As you can see, it contains a source code. So here it is saying that if the cookie lang is a parameter, possibly if that particular lang parameter is set, then what will happen? If this particular lang parameter is set at that time, the file, using the lang parameter in the set cookie function. Okay, and it is trying to fit something, it is trying to fit some image. Okay, so as we can see, if we are going to, I mean, use the lang parameter, there is a possibility that we can do something with that particular file. We do not know, properly what is going to happen right now. However, we can check it. So let's remove all these, requests. So let me remove this particular line. Okay, we have fetched the request. So let's send it to the repeater. And inside this cookie, we are going to delete this PHP session ID and we are going to replace it with lang parameter. And in the lang parameters, we will try to do the path traversal. Let's see what will happen. As you can see, we are able to retrieve the contents of the, I mean, etc password file. So what we are going to do, if we try to use this particular upload directory, for example, if we need to, I mean, execute this particular, I mean, file, so what we can do, we can move that we have received the connection from the machine or not. Yes, we have received the connection. So now let's convert it to the interactive shell. Let's make it interactive by using this command. Bin bash, we're trying to access the bash. Okay, so now we need to enumerate. We have entered into the machine. Now it is the time to enumerate all the directories, all the files. Okay, so what we are going to do, we are going to check the present working directory. So it is, I mean, root. So it's lsl cd. As you can see, we can do something in the temp directory, and we can access this particular home directory. However, let's try to access the directory of Kane. Permission denied. Okay, let's be Kane. Okay, we need to decode the password again. Okay, let's now try to access. Message mic. So it is a file. So let's try to execute that particular file. Okay, it is saying us no such file or directory. So it is for mic. So can we be mic? It is asking for the password. Let's provide the password of mic. Okay, let's provide it. Okay, it is saying authentication failure. However, we are giving the right password, but still it is asking. I mean, it is. I mean, it is not allowing us to be mic, right? So what we can do now, we can check the. I mean files which has the, I mean, sudo permission, which has the files which has the ACUID bit set in it. Okay, which has the ACUID bit set in it. So we are going to find the files, and let's check other files whether SUID bits are set in any other file or not. We're just checking it. Okay, I think I have made some mistake. File type. We are trying to access the files by typing. Okay, I think I have missed one part. So I need to write. We need to give the permission, right? So let's check it again. Okay, so these particular files are, I mean, has a CUID bit set. It, it will not be of, I mean, it is of no use. These files are of no use. Okay, so what we can do, we can check the path variable now. Okay, user local being, then user being, then user local games, so user games. So basically, if any command is trying to be, I mean, implemented, so these particular locations will be checked. So what we are going to do, we are going to create one file now, and give we will give this particular content to that file. Okay, so basically what we are doing here, we are going to create one cat file which will contain the bin bash. Okay, basically this file will be, I mean, used to, I mean, run the bash. Okay, so what we are going to do now, let's enter it now. Give 777 permission to that particular file. Okay, we have provided it lsl. Let's check it. So what we are going to do, we are going to export this particular location. I mean, we are going to prepend this location to our path variable. Okay, so what we are going to do, export, and after that, this particular sign gives, this particular sign means we are trying to prepend. However, we need to write the path here. We need to write path, and then we need to append it. Okay, so now let's try to run message mic. As you can see, we have become mic by running this particular file. So now we are going to check the message mic. Okay, cd dot dot p. Let's check the present working directory. Home key. Let's cd dot dot cd mic lsl message to root. There is another file. There is another file, and we can guess that this particular file can let us to gain the root privileges, right? To gain the root privileges. So what we are going to do, we're going to run this particular file, message to root. So it is asking the message for root. So what we are going to do, we are going to write one, I mean, name and then bin sh. Okay, as we can see, as you can see, we are root now. So now let's try to enter root. Let's get the flag. As you can see, we have solved the lab. We have received the root flag successfully. Okay, so this machine is completed. We have completed the, I mean, machine environment which has the environmental path variable vulnerability, right? So now what we are going to do, we are going to use, we are going to, we are going to exploit the machine which has the vulnerability of replaceable etc password file. That means the writable etc password file. Okay. So we are going to exit from here. Let's just close these tabs and clear everything. Okay, so let's wait for a moment. Let the machine start. Okay, then we are going to discover the IP by using the discover command of this machine. Okay, so the machine is on. Now let's discover the IP. Okay, we have received the IP address. The IP address is 192.168.1.46. So we are going to scan it. We are performing the aggressive scan here. Okay, so the scan is done now. So what we are going to do, we are going to we can see that the HTTP is running in port 8008 and port 22 is open. So what we are going to do, we are going to type this particular URL in our browser. Okay. So what we are going to do now, we are going to check the robots.txt file. Okay, as you can see, there are too many directories. So now what we are going to do, we are going to check from the bottom one first. Nothing is here. Let's go back. We are going to check something from the middle. Okay, we have received another directory, vulnbank. So, okay, so let's click on it. Okay, as you can see, we have received another directory, client. So let's click on it. Okay, we have received one login page. So let's check whether any SQL injection is present here or not. Okay, so I think there can be a SQL injection present. Okay, so what we are going to do, so let's make it anything, and it's invalid credentials, trying to log in. Okay, and as you can see, we are logged in now. Very secure bank. Okay, good. So now what we are going to do, we can see that we have there is a place where we can upload the files. there is a place where we can upload the files. So what we are going to do, we already have the PHP reverse shell in our computer, right? So we already have modified that by using our IP address. So what we are going to do, we will try to upload that particular file in here. Okay, so we are going to, okay, we have changed it, right? So let's try to upload .php. Okay, now let's try to upload it. As you can see, after we got hacked, we are allowing only image files to upload, such as JPG, JPEG, BMP, etc. So let's revert it back to JPG. Okay, so let's try to upload it, and let's start the listener also. Okay, let's go to the main page. Let's view the ticket. And I think we have received the connection. Yes, we have received the connection from the victim machine. So now what we are going to do, we are going to run the same command to make it more interactive. Okay, if we are going to use Python 3, so okay. So now let's enumerate it. Let's check this directory. Okay, nothing is here. Okay, so nothing is, I mean, nothing juicy is present here. So, okay, so what we can do now? Now we are going to check the etc password, as we already know that this particular, I mean, machine has the, I mean, replaceable, I mean, etc password file has present. So what we are going to do, we are going to check the etc directory. Okay, we are going to check the etc directory. We will check whether we can dump the data. So we can dump the data. Okay, we, our connection just lost. Okay, I think we need to do it again. Okay, something, let's turn the Foxy proxy off. Okay, I think we need to, I think there is a problem. Okay, okay, okay. We have some problem in our machine. Okay, so let's restart it again. Let's restart our machine again. So that is why we lost our connection. Okay, the machine is restarted again. So let's check its IP once again. Okay, the IP is same. That's good. So now let's go to this directory again. Let's upload the file. Before that, let's start the listener. Okay, I think we have received the connection. Yes. Now let's run the same command again. Okay, now what we're going to do, we're going to check all the, we're going to get the password file. As you can see, we are able to dump it. So now what we are going to do, we are going to add one user here. Okay, we are going to add one user here, but before doing in order to do that, we need to make one password using by using the salt. Okay, by using the solving technique. So what we are going to use, what we are going to do, we are going to open a new terminal, and by using the open ssl command, we are going to do that. Okay, so basically what we are doing, we are trying to make one, I mean, encrypted password by using the md5 encryption method. Okay, so first we give the password, then one, then let's give the salt, and the salt, let's say abcd, and the password, let's say test 1 2 3 4. Okay, it is saying that invalid password. Okay, so I think I have made a mistake. I think we need to remove this particular. Okay, okay, let's try to generate it again. We're going to use the salt, right? So salt we have provided. Why we're getting three passwords here? Let's give pass only. Okay, it is giving us three lines. Okay, so what we're going to do, let's clear it next. Still we are getting the result. So what we are going to do, we are going to implement it. Okay, we are going to implement it. Okay, we are going to give this one. We are going to make one etc password file. So what, let's make one. Okay, this is our user id, group id, then the home directory, root, and this particular user, basically the user and its home directory, then the which particular, I mean, file can be, I mean, which cell can be run by the user. So we're going to execute it. So now let's go to the temp directories. Temp. Let's duplicate it. Let's try to Python. And, okay. So what we're going to do, we're going to cp with password. Okay, so what we're going to do, we are trying to replace the actual etc password file with our malicious one, right? I think I have provided one wrong command. Oh, sorry. I need to provide the name first after that. Okay, so it is copied. Now what we are going to do, we are going to su. What was our name of the password file? ABCD. Okay. Okay, as you can see, due to this, problem, due to this issue in OpenSSL, that is why our password. I think we need to enter it totally. I think it is. Having some issue. We are having some issue in copying that. However, for the safety purpose, I have already created one test user here. Okay, I already created one test user. However, I have forgotten the password. Let's do it. Su test. It is asking for the password. Let's try this password. No. Okay. So what we need to do? We need to make one password again with OpenSSL. Anyway, let's copy the whole thing from here. Let's paste it over here. LSL. Okay, it is removed. So let's run with wget command. Now try to ABCD. Okay, I think we are having an issue with this particular, command. That is why we are, facing this particular issue. So let's check the history. Let's find out the password for the test so that we can log in. I can show you how to log in inside it. Anyway, I think we are having some issue here. So let's try once again. If it doesn't work, then there is an issue with this particular one. Yes, we are having some issue here. Okay, so what was the method? If we are going to, SU this particular user, so what will happen? We will gain the root access. At that time, we can check it. However, we couldn't solve it properly due to these issues. Okay, in the next session, we will try to solve it by solving the issues in this particular box. Okay, so as it is already a long session, so we are going to end it right now. Thank you, guys. We will meet in the next session.